Hello parents and carers, it's Simon Abeledo here at Rush Green Primary School. The date is the 1st of April 2022 and I have an update for you just regarding some information which we've received from the Department for Education. We've had a raft of about 12 documents which have come to us in the last 24 hours. It's taken some time obviously to go through this information and sort of follow links and things off that. And the information is broadly in line with the information that's been announced in the media over the last 2 or 3 days. So I just want to go through some of that and just make sure that we're all very clear on the nuances and things that we see in the paperwork that we've been given, but they haven't sort of come through in the public announcements. So we've got some more detailed advice which I'm going to go through and hopefully just clarify. I'm not sure why you don't get this information actually, and I think for clarity purpose it makes sense to me that you hear what we hear and then we all know sort of where we stand, and really I suppose from our perspective and from your perspective it just avoids any conflict of interest really. As I say, I don't know why they don't, but there we go. So I'm not their biggest fan at the moment, I'm afraid. So the first document which we've received was updated information on remote learning offer. Now I've gone through that with a fine-tooth comb, and all in all we're already in line with all of that. So what we've been doing I think was already good practice, and we'll if we have to go to a plan B type situation where we've got either class closure or year group closure, or even hopefully not, but whole school closure, then we were able to go to quickly a situation whereby we can run our remote learning and make sure that children are getting the education that they still need, obviously. Now, we are at the moment seeing staff absences, and I think it is important to recognise that. We've got 2 staff out on long-term absence at the moment. We don't know when those staff will be returning, but obviously they've been hit quite hard with COVID. So we need to make sure that we're looking after those, but at the same time we're finding it very hard to recruit supply teachers. Just this week we had 3 supply teachers due in, I think it was Monday or Tuesday, and they cancelled on the morning because of sickness. So we are finding it a real struggle, and I know this isn't particular to us, it's a nationwide issue, and it's something obviously that we are having to deal with. So far we've been very lucky, we've not had to go to remote learning, we've managed things internally to avoid going to remote learning. We all know that there is no substitute for face-to-face school teaching, so if we can avoid it, we do everything to avoid it, to be quite frank. So that's kind of where we are, but we need to make sure that we are prepared. So our policy is on our school website, and in fact I'm going to see if I can get Mr Mia to put something together to show you where it is on our school website. But if you just do a search for Rush Green Primary, if you look along the tabs, I'm just looking at my one now. In fact, I'm going to show you very quickly. I wonder if it'll let me do this on here. I am going to show you what I've got here. So all in all, what you'll have is something that looks like this, and you've got here the pupils tab. So if you go into the pupils tab, you will see home learning, and if you go onto home learning, just click on that and it gives you our policy. Our policy here, which is basically what it works, and you've got an isolation letter. Now we'll tidy this up a bit and just make it a little bit more current for you, but the bottom line is we've got everything that you need on there. Now normally we'll say anything from 24 to 48 hours setup time to get the teachers prepped and get everything uploaded and ready to go, so that we can start delivering that remote teaching. Now if we have to go to a worst case scenario where we're looking at partial school closures, classroom closures and things like that, we are aware that there are some families out there that do not have access to the tech that they need, computers, all of that sort of stuff. Now we do have a stock in school which we can loan out. It is school stock, unfortunately, so it is the stuff that we would normally be using in the classrooms and things. So obviously we need that back. In good order, good condition. We don't want anything back broken. But what we need to do is we need to make sure that we've got updated lists. Now, it is important that the people that need this equipment are the ones that get it. So, you know, we're going to be at some point contacting you, probably after Easter holidays now, just to keep that list updated. We did it just before Christmas, but I just want to make sure that we're as updated as possible. We'll go through our vulnerable pupil list, just keep those updated. We do that every term anyway, but it makes sense to do it. Makes sense to do it again early summer, so that we're bang up to date on that. And then what we'll do, just check all these policies that I've just shown you, and just make sure that everything is up to date on that, and everything is ready to go. Yeah, I think that's all I need to say on that at this stage. But fingers crossed, everything crossed, that we don't reach that sort of situation. Now, what else did we have I wanted to mention? So a new risk assessment is going to be coming out soon from the local authority. I was expecting it today. I was in a meeting yesterday. They said it would be here today. It's not out yet. I'm expecting that to arrive probably over the Easter holidays, so I'll have a good look through that, and then what we'll do is we'll arrange to get that up on the website. I'll need to go through it with staff first, and then I'll get that up on the school website that you can see. You know, again, I don't foresee any real change in that. Obviously the hand washing, those sorts of things. Doors and windows open as often as possible. We have a big clear through 2-3 times a day. We get all those windows and doors open anyway, a big blow through, clear all the musty air across the school. We'll keep doing that. So all the things that we've been advised to do. Testing for staff stopped a couple of weeks ago now. Well, no, actually a couple of months ago now. And I'm not sure how I feel. Well, I know how I feel about it, but I'm not sure how many staff feel about it. But it does mean that there is a chance that we could have asymptomatic staff with COVID walking around. And obviously that poses another risk. I think the biggest risk for us is not COVID coming to our school, but actually staff absence, if I'm honest. You know, it could cause potential disruption, particularly now that we're not having access to test kits. We've run through our stock. We've got maybe 1 or 2 kits left each. I want to get those out to staff over Easter, so that when people come back in the summer term for the first 2 weeks, we can carry out any tests. So I know whether or not we've got any asymptomatic staff. The other advice that we're being given is to recommend vaccinations to children. Children under 12 now can get vaccinated too, so please do consider that as an option. And yeah, I mean, the other thing now that we're looking at really is when staff are sick. As I say, for us at the moment, staff is the big risk, because if I can't get staff in, we can't operate, you know, normal learning arrangements, which will obviously impact you, because you'll have to stay with your children at home while we're running remote learning. So we do need to make sure that we're thinking about all of this, and so I'm trying to cover every base here. So I think, yeah, we've already talked about staff testing for the 2 weeks they come back after Easter. The next thing I'm thinking is that what we'll try and do is any staff that come down with cold symptoms, I'm now being advised that they need to isolate for 5 days. It's just an absolute nightmare at the minute. So what I'm hoping I can do is get them tested, and if it's not COVID, we get them straight back in. But, you know, at the moment I'm sort of taking HR advice around that, and we'll see where we go. The other advice that I've just been given from Director of Public Health, which again is slightly different to the advice that's being given out by the Minister at the moment, and the advice that's been given out across the media. Children now will need to isolate. If they test positive for COVID, will need to isolate for 3 days. All right, that's the minimum isolation requirement, and you know, that really I think is what we have to work to. So if you know that your child is positive for COVID, they need to be off for 3 days, please. Okay. If children are coming that we suspect of having COVID, or that we are aware that they have been that they have tested positive for COVID, we will be sending them home. And for us at the moment, the big the symptom we need to be looking out for on that one is a high temperature. That's what we've been advised. So cold symptoms with a high temperature, that is the biggie at the moment. All right. So it sounds to me like the government seem to be stepping up things again, very slightly here. So I wonder if they know something we don't. I don't know. But, you know, I think let's just all be mindful. Let's just all look after each other. And so obviously stay safe. You know, there's no requirement to wear masks and things again on school site. We'll keep doing what we're doing. You keep doing what you're doing. I'll try and support you as best I can. And if you can do your bit by, if you know your kids have got COVID, keep them off for those 3 days. It'd be really, really useful for us. And then hopefully we can keep the staffing in the school so that we can avoid any remote teaching. Other than that, all I have left to say is have a lovely Easter break. Thank you so much for all your support. You, as always, have been fantastic. The Easter bonnet parade, unfortunately, I missed it this morning, but I've seen some of the bonnets around, and Mrs Humphrey has shown me some photos. But yeah, I'm gutted to miss that. But yeah, it's been pretty busy. But have a fantastic Easter break, and I really look forward to seeing you on Tuesday, 19th of April. So take care. All the best. Bye-bye.